You are a bank, and with each customer that comes in, you immediately open their account and they decide whether or not they are going to make deposits or take out withdrawals. If they deposit more and more, you like them more and more. If they withdraw more and more and have a negative balance, you like them less and less. Now, before you have an identity crisis, no, you are not literally a bank. But the way that we can understand how we relate with others can be kept with this analogy in mind. Find out how right after this. Hey everybody, I'm Taylor from Beard vs. Geek, where I show you it is okay to be a man and a geek at the same time. Today we are talking about dating and relationships. And a wonderful way to understand dating and relationships, or any interaction that you have with anyone, is the emotional bank account. The emotional bank account was first discussed by Stephen Covey in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in which I highly recommend that everyone reads that book. Amazon affiliate link in the description box down below. The idea is really simple. We have an ongoing account with everybody that we've ever come in contact with, and even some people that we have never actually come in contact with. For example, you have an open account on me. And with this open account, people can make a decision whether or not they want to make a deposit or take out a withdrawal. Now, since we're not literally dealing with money here, the way a person can make a deposit or take out a withdrawal is by their actions and how they treat you. For example, a deposit into their account might be a compliment. They say that you look particularly nice today. You are losing weight. You did a great job doing whatever it was that you were doing. Usually, that is a way to make a deposit. An example of a withdrawal is something that diminishes how you view them. For example, if the person let you down, they said that they were going to do something for you and they failed. That is an example of a withdrawal. Now, you trust them less, you like them a little bit less. Now, depending on who this person is, defines whether or not they started out with a really big opening balance or with a really withdrawn balance. For example, a person that you have been best friends with ever since you were kids and you remain in constant contact with, they probably have a giant positive balance in their account. So when they do let you down, when it comes to smaller things, it's usually not a big deal. But if you have a person that you already did not like, they already have a negative balance, and they withdraw more, they let you down, you are going to have a different reaction towards that person because they already have a negative balance. With banks love people who give them money. Banks don't like people who take money and never return it. The same thing is true with emotions. Now, the tricky part of this is a thing that I'm thinking about as currency exchange. That is when somebody thinks that they're making a deposit into their bank account, but really it has a different effect than their intention. Now, one way I like to think about this is with currency exchange. For example, the peso is less than the dollar, but the dollar is less than the British pound sterling. So for example, I know two people in particular, not naming any names, where one person really cares about the other, so they go out of their way to do all sorts of things for the other person. They work around the house, they fix the leaky pipe, they do all these different things. Now, to that person who's doing all those things, they're thinking they're putting in dollars at least, maybe even pound sterling. But to the bank, the person receiving that transaction, they might interpret it as pesos because they don't accept that form of currency as best as they accept a different form of currency. So this person doing all of these great things for that person, to them, they're giving a lot. But to the bank receiving it, it's not a lot. It's not really a big deal. It's nice, sure, but it is not the currency that they prefer. Say, for example, you take your girlfriend out on a very nice and romantic date. You show up to that date and you show up with flowers and a box of chocolates to show your affection for that person, thinking that you're going to make a great positive impact into your bank account. But the thing is, when she gets the chocolates, she already told you that she was allergic to them. And with the flowers, she has hay fever. So neither of those things are in fact a positive balance at all. In fact, it's even a withdrawal because that person did not listen to her. Now this brings up the question, well, what do we know? What's a deposit? What's a withdrawal? And how can we put in more deposits so that other people, whether it's work colleagues, whether it's our girlfriends, whether it's our wives or people in our family, anybody, How do we know what is a deposit into account and what is a withdrawal? Banks love it when you spend more time with them. If you notice that your current bank, they probably offered you a credit card. They probably talked to you about student loans. They probably talked to you about a mortgage. The longer that the bank knows you and the longer that you know the bank, the more you are able to understand what the bank is all about, what services they provide, what communications they like. Same thing is true with our fellow human beings. The longer that you are with somebody and the more conversations that you have about communication and relationships, the more that you understand to that bank, this action, doing all this great stuff, bringing the chocolates, bringing the flowers, is a negative. It's a withdrawal from your account. But if you say, write a really great letter, or if you give them compliments, that is a great way to increase your balance with that bank. It all goes back to whether or not it's pounds, dollars, or pesos. Now this is tricky because in our analogy here, in real life, we only deal with a small handful of banks. But when it comes to interpersonal banks, we are dealing with dozens, if not hundreds, and in some cases even thousands of different people. Thousands of different banks accepting different currencies. The best way to understand what currency you're putting in is to get to know that bank. Have a conversation with that bank. Have a conversation with that person. Understand what currency they accept and what currency they don't accept. That way, you can make a positive impact on others. Whether if it's people on the job, people in your home, or people on the street. Let me know what you think about the emotional bank account in the comment section down below. Click here if this is your first time to subscribe, or click right here for some awesome dating and relationship stuff. I want to thank the patrons who make this show even better and better each month, and you can click right here to find out how to become a patron. Or you can click right here for some more manliness and geekiness. Because after all, if the women don't find you manly, they should at least find you geeky. And until next time, beard on, bro.